What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another very special episode of the JTW Sports Show. Today, I'm back with Jimmy and TJ, but we also have a very special guest today, Mr. Brad Johnson. He is a two-time Pro Bowler and Super Bowl 37 champion with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How you doing today, Brad?
Doing great, man. Appreciate you guys reaching out and having me on your show. So look forward to being with you guys.
We appreciate you being on. We just wanted to, ask you a couple questions about your career as a football player, and just a couple things about your life as well. To just get started, I was gonna say, looking, at your life and how it was, I, I'm not sure if I read this right, but it says that you went to Florida State as a basketball player and not as a football player, and then ended up, joining the football team. And I was gonna ask you, like, how did that happen, and like, why
Yeah,
did you choose basketball over football?
yeah, it's a great question. I'm from Black Mountain, North Carolina. Went to Owen High School. Um, Basketball is my passion. I played from second grade all the way through my first year of college. Never missed a day. Christmas Day, New Year's Day, any day. I love basketball. A guy named Roy Williams. He was the high school basketball coach at my school. Then later, my high school coach was a guy named Bill Burrows, who worked for a guy named Bobby Crimmins at Georgia Tech. So Brad Doherty went to my high school. So I lived in every gym, youth park that you can imagine. Scored 2,392 points in high school. Player of the year in North Carolina. In basketball and football, I was an All-American, but I didn't like football. I love basketball. And I was 6'5" guy. I could shoot it, but couldn't defend anybody. And so I took my recruiting trips. I went to Georgia Tech for basketball visit. And I was meeting with a guy named Bobby Crimmins, the head coach, and I was a big Georgia Tech fan. And he said, "Brad, you can come here, but I only play five guys." And the guy in front of me that I recruited is a guy named Dennis Scott, who actually ended up playing 11 years in the NBA. And so Dennis Scott changed my life, whether he knows or not. So Bobby Crimmins said, "You'll sit the bench behind him." And he said, what do you think you have most potential in? I said, "I got more potential in football. I just haven't worked at it." And because I thought I could play at the college level, but not the pro level. So I chose Florida State, played for great Bobby Bowden. I actually walked on the basketball program at Florida State, played 2 years of basketball there, went to NCAA's twice. But I knew in the end, if I was ever going to make it at the next level as far as pro football, I had more potential. And there was a guy at that time, a guy named Benny Testaverde. And everybody kind of said, "Brad, you got a chance to be like him. That's the new wave of guys being 6'5" and those kind of things." That's actually why I wore the number 14, was because of Benny. Kind of felt like my passion might be football as it went on.
Okay, that's some stuff that I did not know,
That's a
actually.
story right there.
Um, do you do you know, like, the point where you decided um to that you realized that you would make it, like that you had a chance to take it to the next level? As far as you said, you had more potential
Right.
to make it to the NFL as a football player than make it in basketball. So do you know when you realized that you had the chance to?
Yeah, man. I thought coming out of high school, I had more potential, but I didn't think I was a really very good high school quarterback, to be honest with you, because I just didn't work at it. I didn't know the rhythm, 3-step, 5-step, didn't know coverages. All my passion was basketball. And in college, I came in there, and our room at one time, there was a guy named Peter Tom Willis, who played 4 years in the NFL, Casey Weldon, we came in together. He was the runner up to the Heisman. Charlie Ward, who won the Heisman, had an 11-year NBA career. A guy named Chris Winkie, who won the Heisman National Championship. Our room at Florida State was competitive. Another guy is Kenny Felder's second-round baseball pick. So it was competitive in our quarterback room. I didn't get to play very much start at Florida State, but I felt like I had potential. I got benched as a junior in high school. I'm sorry, at Florida State after 6 games. They went with Casey Weldon, who ended up being the run-up to the Heisman the next year. We were number 1 in the country. I thought about quitting. I thought about transferring. I thought about going back and just playing basketball. I thought about going to the supplemental draft. I thought about just being done with it all. I said, what are my goals? Why did I come here? I stuck it out. I only started 1 game my senior year because Casey got hurt. And but there's a guy named Jack Burns who was at the University of Louisville that had recruited me when I was coming out of high school. He drafted me as the 227th pick, 14th quarterback, in the 1992 draft. So I got better kind of went at the end of my college career, especially my pro career. I kind of figured it out and put more of my passion into football than I had done so in basketball.
Cool. That's some. I mean, it's a really cool opportunity, obviously, even to make it to the college level and to the NFL too. But so seeing from the internet at least, it says you played in NFL Europe, and I just tell you what was why did you choose NFL Europe? What was the story behind that?
Yep, I'd been with the Minnesota Vikings for 3 years. At that time, I was a backup. My first year, I was a third string quarterback behind Rich Gannon, who we played against each other in the Super Bowl, and Sean Salisbury. My second year, I was the backup to Jim McMahon and Sean Salisbury. The third year, Warren Moon came there. I was the backup to him. I was in the pros in 3 years of my league, and I hadn't even got to play one play. And I said, I need to play. I said, I'm really good in practice. That didn't get you paid. That didn't get you any play time. You got to earn playing time. So because I didn't play much in college, I hadn't played 3 years in the pros, I was backing up. The new league came back out, which was the World League. There were 6 teams, London, Scotland, Amsterdam, Frankfurt, Dusseldorf, and Berlin. So I went over in the spring, had a 4-week training camp in Atlanta and Swanee, Georgia, and then at the Atlanta Falcons facility, and then played in London and loved it. It was a chance for me to be the starter, chance to make plays, chance to make mistakes, learn from it, and prove that I could play and lead a team. So it was tough. It was tough living, but if you could survive that league, you know what I mean? A lot of times the careers, a lot of guys, they played, but they didn't come back and have careers. But I learned the hard way, came back and earned my time. And Warren Moon got hurt, I was prepared. I had that game playing time. And so that was a big reason why I went to London and play in the World League for that 1 year. I'm very thankful for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Very.
Even like just playing in London is really cool. My family, actually, believe it or not, on my mom's side, they're from England, and so I go to London a lot. It's super cool place. How was it kind of living there too?
It was different. We were lucky. I mean, honestly, all those countries I involved, 4 of the 6 had foreign languages. So in England, I was able to get around. We lived in a place called Crystal Palace. We played at White Hart Lane. It was awesome, hit a few pubs along the way, did all that. But I was at the same time, I was there to save my career. It wasn't just a joyride. Living conditions were a little bit different. And you had to kind of pay, like going in an old dorm is where we lived, and nothing was easy. And but I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for that experience of just, we'd go around, we'd tour London and did all the sightseeing things on the off days and stuff. So it's pretty cool being over there.
Wow.
So based off of looking at your career as a whole, we said it earlier, you did win a Super Bowl. Right after winning that, what was like the feeling in like the locker room? What was the feeling as a whole after winning a Super Bowl?
Yeah, in 1987, when I was in high school, trying to decide if I was going to play football or basketball. In 1987, a guy named Phil Simms, quarterback for the Giants, played the great John Elway for Denver Broncos, and they won. Phil Simms went 22 for 25, threw 3 touchdowns, and after the games, the first year it came out was, I'm going to Disney. And the confetti was falling on his face and stuff. So that was like another reason why it was pretty cool. The next day we said, I'm going to Disney. Well, 16 years later, 2003, we won the Super Bowl. Confetti was falling. We're up 48-21. Game is over. Confetti is falling. They got the song, we are the champions, that whole thing. And I hold my son, Max, who's 2 years old. He's actually quarterback now at LSU. And my wife, Nikki, she's 7.5 months pregnant with our other son, Jake. And we're saying, I'm going to Disney, So it's pretty cool to do that. Was able to experience a lot of things after the fact. I was on the Jay Leno show. We had a big parade in Tampa. My hometown, Black Mountain, North Carolina, they had a parade for me. Got to meet Billy Graham, who lived up there in Montreat, North Carolina, was able to experience that. So a lot of things came with it. But that team, we had many great players. 3 or 4 of them went on to make Hall of Fame. John Lynch is going in this year. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks. We got 2 more that might go in with Rondé Barber and Simeon Rice. And but we had a bunch of guys that are Pro Bowlers. But just legends on offense, legends on defense, great coaches. Pretty awesome to be a part of that, to say you were a world champion for one day.
Yes, sir.
Some big names that you just named right there. That's awesome. What was it like playing with those kind of guys? Obviously, I'm assuming they're big locker room guys, good leaders on and off the field. What's it like with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like any locker room. I mean, you got characters, you got pranks that are taking place, you got whatever's going on. But at the end of the day, I played against a lot of those guys in college, played against those guys when I was in Minnesota or Washington, against a lot, Warren Sapp and Derrick Brooks and a lot of those guys. And I had great respect for them, but you want to be a part of something great. You got to do the work in practice, training camps, meetings, and then you got to win when it counts. So guys that love to battle, guys that love to win, guys that are great friends still to this day. You know what I mean? But some are Hall of Famers, some are Pro Bowlers, some guys you never heard of that were unbelievable players that just didn't get a lot of credit. But it's pretty cool to be a part of that locker room and to achieve it. You sit there and you talk about it, but you got to achieve it. And a lot of people, the people that sometimes played in the Super Bowl, they say, man, it was overrated. The game was, we did. But the people that won it, they'll tell you it's one of the best days of their life. So a lot comes with it, and it's a memory that I'll never forget.
Wow. So, I mean, a lot of your career was filled with, incredible highlights. And the one main highlight, I think you probably know where this is going, is the touchdown to yourself. You were the first one to do it. Talk me through that. What was that like?
It was pretty neat play. I was playing for the Minnesota Vikings, 1997. And I think that's right. But the play was called dot left spear, rip Dallas. And basically it was a stick route by the tight end, the fullback's out in the flat. I dropped back, threw a pass, went on the 3-yard line. Ball got batted up. It was third down. I caught it, made a couple of fakes, and then scrambled in, dove into the end zone. And when the play happened, I knew you couldn't make a double pass. So if I actually would have got sacked, we still were in field goal range. If you're out in the middle of the field, you would knock the ball down, but I had enough awareness to catch it, scramble, make the play. When it happened, we didn't know what it was. And then somebody said, well, it's a touchdown pass. Somebody said, no, it's a touchdown catch. And it actually ended up being 12 points in fantasy football, won an ESPY award that year. It's kind of cool. Haven't happened long. First time it ever happened. Then Marcus Mariota did it a few years back. It was with the Tennessee Titans against Kansas City Chiefs in the playoffs. But pretty cool play. 12 points for fantasy football. So
that's the biggest part.
This. Yeah, pretty cool.
Awesome. Yeah, I've always wanted to do that as a quarterback myself.
Yeah. So, you won a Super Bowl, you played a couple more years there. And then towards the end of your career, you kind of bounced around to a couple different teams. You ended up going back to the Vikings for a season. You signed with Dallas for a little bit. I was just going to say, when did you kind of, you came into the league in 1992, you played until 2008, I believe.
Right.
When did you kind of know it was time to, finally say, all right, I'm going to move into the next phase of my life?
Yep. I was 40 years old. My son, Max, he was like 11 or 12. We raced on the beach and he beat me. I said, if I can't beat 11 or 12-year-old running, I'm done. But honestly, my body was done. My elbow, my shoulder, I couldn't throw it the way I wanted to throw it. My knees were done. I might have to have 2 knee replacements probably here in the next couple of years. I had no more juice in my body to give. Love playing the game, love everything about it, but when your body it shuts down, you can't go. And there's no air in the tires. No matter how good Dale Earnhardt was and Ricky Rudd and all those guys, Dale Jarrett, you name somebody going around the NASCAR track, but no air in the tires, you can't play anymore. And that's what happened to me. And body just shut down completely right at 40, 41. Stay active today, play a lot of golf, pickleball, shoot basketball, but I can't run like I used to run. And body just shut down. That's what it told me.
Okay.
So earlier you did say your son's playing up at LSU, and then your other son is playing high school ball. So what is it like having your son also play college football like you did? Even though it's not your alma mater, but going into that phase of playing college football?
Yeah. With Max, he's a quarterback. He's a left-handed quarterback. I don't know how that happened, but I coached him out of the womb and coached him. He's been a quarterback his whole life. And, he loves to throw, loves to play, loves to compete. And so I was able to coach him in youth football, middle school, high school football. And now as a parent in the stands, I'm just eating popcorn. I mean, I park out in the parking lot just like every other fan and parent. Got to get to the stadium, got to find a ticket. He has tickets, as y'all well know, but it's you're sitting in the stands just like everybody else. And you think about all the practices and meetings and conversations that you have with them, but now you try to root your kid on and hope for the best for him. I'm still coaching high school ball with my other son, Jake, he's a tight end, and he'll go to LSU next spring. And so it's really different as a parent coaching a quarterback compared to a tight end. Quarterback, every play kind of counts. As a tight end, you're yelling at the quarterback to throw to the tight end and throw to the receiver. So totally different mindset as a parent, but really all I can do is just support and support both my kids now.
Assuming Jake's kind of a go-to target at the high school, but speaking of go-to targets, coming from a quarterback, obviously every team that I've played on, there's been my go-to guy. I got the luck to play with Josh Downs. He's one of the receivers at North Carolina. He was actually on one of our previous episodes, but he was one of my high school receivers, and then Craig Rucker was one of my big-time college receivers. It's just a relief to have these kind of guys on your side to be able to throw to them on any kind of down, know they're open, know they'll catch it. Obviously in your career, you had some guys like Chris Carter, Keyshawn Johnson, what's it like having a guy like that you just know any down you can go to?
Yeah, now I saw Joshua Downs play a bunch, and I didn't realize you're the quarterback, but man, that guy was tough as nails, man. Great. He had tremendous hands, great route runner, have a great career, definitely in North Carolina. But no, you got to have, it takes, as you well know, as a quarterback, you're only as good as the people around you, and they're only as good as you also. So it takes trust, it takes ability, it takes talent, it takes repetition. So I was able to I threw Chris Carter and Tim Brown their 100th touchdown pass, threw Randy Moss's first touchdown pass. I threw my first touchdown pass. I threw Warren Sapp his first touchdown pass. But as a quarterback, you want whoever can get open. That's your favorite receiver. But some of those guys were tremendous. Joe Jaravicius, Kenny McCardell, Jake Reed, Terrell Owens, Larry Centers, Jason Witten. So I played with incredible receivers. A lot of them made the Hall of Fame, or some of them will. And so it's pretty cool looking back saying I got to play with those guys. But Chris Carter had the best hands of anybody ever. Great sideline catches and touchdown and end zone catches. Randy Moss was the best deep threat guy ever. I never played with Jerry Rice, and he was an unbelievable route runner and all-time receiver numbers and all those kind of things. So they all have different skill talents, but those are some of the great ones.
Of the skill talents and of these guys, these incredible Hall of Fame guys you just named, which one was your favorite to throw to?
Guy that was open was my favorite. But
good answer.
I had a great rapport. I had a great rapport with Kenny McCardell and Joe Jaravicius and Keyshawn Johnson. Obviously Chris Carter and Randy Moss. They were all great in their own way. So, those kind of guys, you just give them a chance, and something good's usually going to happen.
Love that answer. The one who's open. That's definitely the right answer.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's about all we have for today. We just wanted to have you on, talk a little about your career and some things you went through. Is there anything else maybe you want to tell a little side story or something about your career? So a crazy story that happened. Anything?
Yeah, I don't know. I had so many stories, man. I played for Bobby Bowden and John Gruden and Norv Turner and Brian Billick and all those kind of guys. I actually got my jaw broken one time. I was wearing those green jerseys. Everybody think you're safe as a quarterback wearing a green jersey. I was at Florida State, and I scrambled. Wasn't supposed to get touched. I scrambled, got a 8-yard gain. Defensive coach was mad. He yelled at all his players, and I got hit in the jaw. Was wired shut for 6 weeks. And so not many people know that I went through all that kind of stuff. But listen, I enjoyed the grind. I love the game, the meetings, the work. I had unbelievable guys. Guys are going to make the Hall of Fame this year. Next year, last year, I played with a bunch of guys. So just thankful for my career and everything that kind of took place. But injuries were a part of the game. I had every injury and surgery you can imagine. And but it's fun, pretty cool. But let me leave you this note too. When I was at Owen High School, I told you basketball was my passion. I actually quit football. My senior year, I wasn't going to play. And a guy named Kenny Ford, the head coach, he actually played at Mars Hill, is the head coach at Owen. He taught me back into playing. And so I would just tell people out there listening, don't give up on passions, don't give up on dreams. When it's over, it'll be over. The air will be out of the tire. So don't give up. Just do whatever happens, good, bad. You're going to go through tough injuries, whatever it is. Don't give up, and something usually good will happen in the end.
Yes, sir. That's a good message.
Very inspirational.
Well, we appreciate you being on with us, and hopefully maybe one day we can have you back and just kind of catch up with you and see what's going on. So, TJ, Jimmy, y'all have anything else for today?
No, sir. Thank you again for coming on and sharing with us about your career and just everything about football that you accomplished.
Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all reaching out. I know y'all getting started out, so it's gonna be great, man. Keep burning the film here. You know what I mean? Keep making it happen, and good things will happen. Y'all enjoy your career too, man. Playing ball. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, man. All right, man.
Thank
See
you,
you guys. Be good.
Yes,
See
sir.
y'all.
And that's to wrap up another great episode here on the JTW Sports Show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this incredible interview we just had with Brad Johnson, Super Bowl winner, quarterback in the NFL. It was a cool episode. Will, TJ, do you have any thoughts?
If you love the episode, go check out our previous interview that we did with Josh Downs, and then also our take on the Julio Jones trade. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on what you thought about the interview. Tell us who else we should go interview for. Tell us who we should also ask to come on the show.
I'm good. I have nothing.
We'll
Except-
also go check out Will's other
yeah,
YouTube.
except go to check out my other channel. But other than that, I'm good.
Follow all the social medias. Links will be down below to the Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the links down below. Also in the description is Wilbur Unlimited, Will's channel, his personal channel. Thanks guys again for coming on this episode. This was so much fun, and hopefully we have Brad on again sometime. Thanks guys.
Thanks.
We look forward to seeing y'all soon.